Welcome to the Jamodi podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is Jamodi, just a matter of doing it. How do you build confidence in your players?
One of the things we ask them to do is when they show up to campus is make 20,000 shots. So when they show up to here in August, we give them 6 weeks and we need you to make 20,000 shots. We ask them, we don't tell them. We just, if you want to be good, guess what? You have to work. So we make them use the gun and they have to take a selfie. So you can't just like snap a photo. Hey, the last guy, how come you and the last guy both sent photos that made 800 with the identical shooting percentage? Y'all are just snapping photos of somebody else's work. So we make them take selfies in front of it. And then we have GAs, student coaches, who help these guys. And so we give them 6 weeks. Of my 15 guys, 13 of the 15 did it this year.
Wow.
So they put in the time, right? We finished as the second best free throw shooting team in the history of college basketball. We almost beat the 1984 Harvard team. We were like 0.1 behind them.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And I would just tell you that one, our right guys were getting fouled, but two, they put in a lot of time. One of our guys made 20,000 shots in 6 days. He was making 3,500 a day.
Wow.
And so he would, if you've ever made 100 on the gun, it'll probably take you about 12 minutes. So he got started at like 9 a.m., made 500 or 600, when rested his arm, came back at 1.
Iced it.
Yeah, came back at like 6 that night, made like another 1,000, 1,200. Came back at like 11 that night, made another 1,200. He did that for 6 consecutive days. Saturday and Sunday, he was living in the gym. And he wanted to prove, like, you can trust me to shoot the ball. And the reality is he wasn't a very good shooter at the time. He just thought he was, and he wanted to prove to me that I'm serious about this. And so I think when you do that, like when you have a big goal and you achieve it and you're hungry to do it, I think you immediately gain confidence. I mean, I don't need to tell you that you're a great shooter. You just made 20,000 shots. Now you probably took, I don't know, 30,000 to get there, maybe 35. But I would tell you that the more that work is done, and then I would tell you that there's 2 things that factor into confidence, right? Your work ethic, and then what are you telling yourself? I mean, the more negative that's going in, the more negative you get, the more you can lose. But if you've demonstrated it and you really, really believe, like, man, they perfectly trust me to take this shot. Like, I don't have to wonder, should I take this? Transition 3, first 6 seconds, go. All right. Paint 3, shoot it. Like, if you don't shoot it, I'm probably bored.
That's right.
Now you
Missed
got to know,
opportunity.
are you actually open or are you not? But from that context, I think, man, the more you hear from the outside, these are the shots we want, take them. And I put in the time, so we're feeding you the right thing and you've done it, I think you'll get confident.
Yeah, they're able to protect their confidence even more after the moment they're missing a few, they can go back and think, okay, I've put in the 20,000, I've done this. So they're able to protect it.
It doesn't bother me. We the Max Asmus kid, he has a moniker called Midcourt Max, because he pulls up from the logo. And if you ever look at it, he's running off. We have our middle guy sometimes run with his hands up, and he'll just run off of that traffic. And we're like, shoot it. I don't care. Like, you put in the time. That's a ball screen 3. We'll take it.
That's right.
And I tell them, if you can do it, we'll let you do it. Now, don't say you can do it and then go 0 for 30. But if you can do it, we're going to let you do it. And we just need to know that these are efficient opportunities that we're taking. So don't overthink this.
I want to dive a little deeper into the 20,000. Any rules within that as far as what type of shots, how many of each?
Yeah, it's got to be outside the paint. It's different for every player.
Okay.
Or post players are. You need to make. Sometimes a post player may be like, you need to make 4,000 jump hooks with your right hand, 2,000 with your left hand. We're not trying to get same. And then you need to make 8,000 free throws. And you need to make. Can you make bank shots? Can you make 2,000 on each side? So it's constructed. We give it
Okay.
to them. It's up to them whether or not they want to do it. Usually they get out of some kind of conditioning. Yeah. So we're allowed to give them gear and
Coach, you
food.
didn't have that for us back in the day when we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
running
I know.
Pharaohs. There was no way to get out of a Pharaoh.
Yeah. And so, hey, I hate 6 a.m.s. I hate it. I'm not. I stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, but I hate early mornings. So if we had our whole team say, "Hey, we get to opt out of 6 a.m. condition," I'd be like, "Thank you," but I don't want to get up anyway. I'm not a nerd. Now, if you want to come back and we wanted to do it at midnight, I'd be cool
You're
with that.
in.
But,
You're
yeah,
in.
so we gear, food, there's some incentive there to get it done, but the real incentive is you really want to become a player.
If you're talking to a lot of high school coaches, I mean, 20,000 in 6 weeks, you have, we all have, most of us have shooting guns, but it's even more of do the students to have an ability to get into the school at certain times and to get that work in. They're going to have to
Yep.
do some things more on their own. I mean, I like the idea. Would you adjust the numbers, do something different? What would you do?
Yeah, so when I was a high school coach, we had the 5,000 shot club, and I think now if I had to revisit it, I would I'd put teammates together and say, together, you guys have
That's a
to
great
do this,
idea.
right? And so what's leadership, right? You're not leading if nobody's following.
Mm.
So you know what? You're gonna do this together. And I would say the ratio, everybody hates a group project where 4 people are working, and you have that one lazy dude who doesn't do anything. Like, I get the same grade, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't, bud. And so I would probably say it can't be more than like 65-35. I get that some guys are going to be more invested than others. We would prefer it, guys, be 50-50.
Mhm.
But I think if I would go, hey, let's make 8,000 shots over this 4-week period. So you can rebound for him, right? Because the big challenge is rebounding.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have a lot of student coaches,
Mm.
and that's their job. You want to continue to get some of your school paid for, young man, young lady, you better rebound when they ask you to.
Right.
And so we're limited. We can only be with them 4 hours, whereas those guys are unlimited. So I think you just need a rebounder. Like, I'll do it, I just don't have a rebounder. And so to make the efficiency, I think it would create something camaraderie, 2 guys, and then teach them a little bit of leadership. And then if you're out there rebounding and your guy's not making it, you're mad. And then hopefully that guy's like, man, you know what? I'm sorry to make Matt work this much. He's running around I need to get better.
That's right.
So hopefully there's a peer pressure component too.
Coach, I'm stealing that.
Go ahead.
We'll definitely be doing that this summer. And I love the idea of the partners. We've done shooting challenges before, but I love the idea of the accountability and having to do that together. So I think that's great.
You are not, and I encourage our guys, like, hey, I know you're coming back at 11, but like, are you that selfish and that you only think of yourself that you can't bring anybody with you? Like, you don't have enough leadership abilities about you that you can't involve your teammates. I mean, this isn't, I love Greg Popovich's comment of you got to get over yourself. It takes a team in order to get this done. So I need you to get over yourself, and I need you not to be selfish. I need you to think of others. And can you bring somebody? I didn't say you had to talk to them.
Or be best friends.
You can have your Beatron maybe at one end, but can you bring somebody else in order to help everybody? Because the better they get, the better we get.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the Jamodi podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.